supposed to do a talent, but I don't have any of those, so instead I'm going to do something that I've been working at for 10 years and I'm still bad at. A lot of you see me leaving in the afternoons to go to yoga, so I thought I would share my practice with you guys. Not the full hour and a half. Alright, so yoga started about 6,000 years ago in India, but about 2,000 years, this nice guy, Patanjali, he was the guru that wrote the Yoga Sutras. So yoga includes a lot more than what we think of it in its origins. A lot of, it's a yogic lifestyle. What we focus on in the West are the third and fourth ones, the body postures, which we think of as exercise, and the breathing practices, the pranayama. So just to dispel some rumors, yoga is not a religion. It kind of started side by side with Hinduism, but it can be a complement to any religion, or it can be completely agnostic. It can be, it's not easy. Like, I have a lot of friends that are like, I like to hit the pavement and run and lift weights. Yoga's too easy, it's a waste of my hour. You can sweat your butt off in yoga and leave like jello. It's not only for flexible people, it's not only for skinny people, clearly, and it's not only for young people. I just read an article about a woman who's like in her 90s and she can do poses I can't do. So yoga can be modifiable for all levels. So there's all, in any city, there's all different types. There's Hatha and Ashtanga and Bikram and Vinyasa. Anybody can find a class that's the right level for them. It can be a spiritual practice, or it can be just a workout. It can be sweaty, or it can be just relaxing time, depending on the type of class that you attend. It can build your strength, it can build your endurance, and it can build your flexibility. And that's kind of up to you how you practice what you focus on. So it can be practiced indoors in a studio or outside on a sunny day. A lot of people think of yoga as being done to Om Shanti Shanti, like very Hindu, very sitar music. I've done it to bluegrass, to folk, to heavy metal. Like, it can be done to, it's your practice. Just like when you run, you can do what you want with it. It can also be done on a paddle board in the middle of the water, which is what Tracy, my lovely assistant, and I are doing tomorrow morning. So that will be us tomorrow, except I'm not going to be going into full.
Oh, snap.
Alright, so first I'm going to show you guys a sun salutation, and this is a really common, a lot of the vinyasa flow yogas, which are what a lot of us go to. This is what we do usually for like the first 20 minutes to a half an hour. You do these sequences and you build on them. So I'm going to kind of go through the poses at the beginning, and this is a great thing to do when you get out of bed. It's literally a sun salutation. So you start in mountain pose, and everything in yoga, you want your abs tight, and instead of curving your lower back out, you want it supported and curved in, whereas your upper back, instead, you want to work against your hunch. So you want everything straight and strong. So you start in mountain pose, everything's engaged. You inhale, and then you exhale and forward fold in a swan dive. Now you're in Uttanasana. The goal here is to have your chest on your legs, so if you need to modify and bend your knees, you can. So here we're extending our back, and now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to flex it. You can modify, if you can't reach the floor, you can come up on your legs. So from here we plant our hands on the floor and we come back into a plank. You can modify with your knees down. And now we lower into my most hated pose, a chaturanga, where you keep your elbows in and you hover. And from here you can go to a baby cobra. I don't know if you guys can see me. A king cobra, or you can go up on your feet, or it's just your feet and your hands touching. And this is an upward dog. And the idea here, you don't want to crunch your back. You're making your back, you're using your abs to make your back long and strong. Tuck your toes. And this is a downward dog. A lot of people's tendencies here is to bring their shoulders forward. This doesn't do you as much good. You want your back and legs to be two straight lines. If your heels don't touch the floor, it's okay. Your heels don't have to. And from here, we step or hop to the top of the mat. and we come back up and we finish the pose. So how you build on that, you can do it with any intention. Sorry, I'm out of breath from holding those poses and talking at the same time. So you can go through it fast, or you can go through it really slow. You can take 1 breath per pose, you can take 5, depends on what you're focusing on. So I'm going to do one fast, and I'm going to show you how we build with lunges at the end of it. And you can do any sequence of lunges. Okay, let's see how out of breath I can get. This is our first lunge, and we come up to warrior 1, warrior 2, peaceful warrior, extended side angle. We're going to turn that into a Trikonasana, a triangle pose. And from here you can actually turn your feet in and do a wide leg Uttanasana. You can turn the other way, but we don't have time for that. So I'll come forward and complete the sequence. So, I do have one little practical thing for you guys. So I know that some people are intimidated because they think yoga is hard. So I put together a very short couple of sequences for people that sit at their desk all day that you can do in the morning and it'll help your back. So this is very quick. You start on the floor, you touch your toes. If you're strengthening your hamstrings, you'd want to lead with your heart, but we're doing our back. So if you can't reach your feet, you can take a strap or belt, and you're pulling your back and rounding it, and pushing, every time you take a breath in, you're pushing your air into your back so that your breath helps you stretch it out. We're going to take and do a twist. You do that on each side. Easy cross-leg pose. You can, if you can't do half lotus or lotus, you can just sit crisscross applesauce. Walk your hands forward as far as they'll go. Hollow out your armpits. Push your back up. Stretch out your hip and back. Roll forward to all fours. This is called cat-cow. You can do as many as you want, but you inhale and then exhale. Go through those. Push up to down dog if you can. Walk out your heels, especially in the morning. It's hard to get your heels on the floor. Do a slow motion walk up and then roll like a rag doll up standing. And that is your morning sequence. One last thing, not a sequence. This is a pose that I'm very vulnerable showing you guys because I've been working on this for a long time. I haven't got it done all the way, but it's kind of my show-off pose. So I'm going to attempt to do it in front of you guys, but no promises.
I don't fall through the window.
Okay. It's my ninja move. So we start with our dolphin hands. Walk our feet in. So at the end of yoga, we tell each other, put our hands to our heart, and we bow to each other. We say namaste. Namaste. And that means the divine in me salutes the divine in you. So namaste.